Welcome back. Well, Peter, you are right. On the business side of things, we're talking money, money, money. But some small and medium enterprises in South Africa experience challenges of funding, causing an 86 billion rand credit gap. As a result, they find it difficult to sustain their operations and default on their loan repayments. Each year, the number of SMEs in the country decreases due to their inability to access finance. So, joining us in the studio to talk about this is Fundrr CEO Idan Jaan to speak to us about alternative lending available for SMEs. Thank you very much for coming, sir.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Alternative funding.
Yeah.
How different is it from the normative way of financing businesses?
Sure. So essentially lending, it's one of the oldest transactions that's been recorded in history. Someone gives money and gets money back from it. So when we say alternative lending, we mean lending that's taken place outside of the formal banking sector in South Africa. We see small businesses in the country having such difficulty accessing funding from the banking sector. They ask for a lot of paperwork, very long turnaround time, plus minus 12 weeks. And we just believe that to grow the economy in South Africa, there has to be a way to empower small businesses and allow them to access funding in a quick and efficient way.
By so doing, how does it help businesses to really get off the ground? Because are you saying that as soon as they get finances, the issue of business funding will be a thing of the past?
No, so the way we see it is we see ourselves as a partner. We see ourselves holding their hands and going through the entire business life cycle with them. We don't see us coming, helping them once and letting go. We see currently in our book a 50% retention with existing customers, and we've only been operational for 12 months. That means that customers, 1 in every 2 customers that took funding from us comes back and asks us for more. So we see ourselves as an ongoing credit facility that they can tap into. You know, a lot of businesses have a lot of money tied up in the debtors book. They've got a lot of stock sitting on the shelf which will convert into future revenue. They just need that sort of bridging and that sort of funding to just get them over the edge. A lot of guys get orders that they cannot fulfill because they just simply do not have the money or the ability to service those orders because of their cash flow issues. So what we're saying is we'll provide you within 24 hours from application to disbursement of funds. You apply online, 8-minute application form, everything online, all the documents that we require is documents that the small business owner will have at his disposal. So you apply online in 8 minutes, like I said, and within 24 hours you get the money into your accounts to help you grow your business.
When you're talking about stocks on the shelves and problems with cash flow, I mean, that's a give and take. So then how do you come in when that is not working?
Sure, so they apply to us, right? If they got an order that they need to fulfill, or if they got cash flow problems at the end of the month, that's what happens. They usually come and ask for financial assistance. When they go to the banks take, like I said, 12 weeks to come back with an answer. When a small business owner runs his operations day to day, he doesn't have 12 weeks to wait for financial assistance. If he applies, we believe he should get the money in today. If he needs the money, he needs the money now. So that's why we developed an automated credit model which takes more than 100 data points into inclusion when we make a decision to give us a holistic view of the business. And that way we are able to disperse funds quickly and on the spot. With that being said, the quickness of getting the money into your bank account helps you with cash flow or servicing orders or doing day-to-day operations that you would require.
Doesn't this elicit trust issues? I mean, like the aggressive availability to offer funds just, at a drop of a hat.
Sure.
Like, doesn't it sound desperate to some people who would say this is suspicious?
Sure, I completely understand, and I mean that's why I'm saying this whole thing is about trust value. We are completely transparent. We tell every time we onboard a client, we give them an obligation-free quote off the bat. That obligation-free quote tells them exactly how much they take and how much it will cost them to service with the interest. We also have a bespoke collection mechanism where we determine the cash flow patterns of each business, and we determine whether the debit orders will be on a daily, weekly, bi-monthly, monthly basis. Therefore, we give them a price on how much it will cost them every day, week, month to service this loan. And that way they can see how much it will cost them, and that way the transparency gives us that trust factor. Also, when they apply online within 8 minutes, completely online onboarding, we always like to phone them or drop them an email and say, listen guys, we receive your application, thank you for applying, we will get back to you. Just to show some sort of human element, that they're not dealing with a, like you're saying, like a bank or a robot, etc.
In business, there aren't guarantees, and whether we like it or not, things do go south in as far as business operations are concerned, even the operating environment. And in the end, there's going to be liquidation, whether we like it or not, if the business doesn't have a going concern. Tell us about the worst case scenario. What happens when a business goes down?
Of course, so that's something we never like to think about, but that's the harsh reality. That will happen. The nature of Fundrr is we do not take any sort of security for the funding that we provide. So unlike the banks, we do not attach anything, because we do not believe that a small business owner should attach any of his assets in order to get a bit of cash flow bridging. So when we talk about a default, in the case of a default, we always give them a 15-day grace period. What do I mean by a grace period? I mean by if they default on a repayment, we always notify them and give them 15 days to recover that repayment, because sometimes, like we know, timing isn't as easy always and predictable in small businesses. So we do give them that 15-day grace period without any penalties. After that, unfortunately, we do have to go on a legal route with them, but like I said, it's not secured by any asset, and it's up to us, I guess, to hedge our risk and make sure we lend to the right customers and back the right jockeys, because at the end of the day we want to hold their hands and guide them through it.
How long does one's business have to be operating for to qualify for your funding criteria?
So unfortunately we don't do startup funding. I know it's a big gap in the country, but we are not there yet. So what we do is we provide 20 to 500,000 in loan size, 3 to 12 months in term, and we only provide to businesses that have been operational for longer than 1 year, because we do want to see a bit of track record to do our own underwriting and analyzation of the business, and we do want the business to have minimum of 1 million rand in annual turnover. So we do want them to be in the formal sector of the SME market, and we do want to see a bit of traction.
In the country where we're trying to grow businesses, startups will be the factors that are also needing attention. Why are you not funding them?
Unfortunately, and it's definitely something we'd want to look at in the future, but unfortunately right now we do not have enough data to underwrite startups. There's no track record, there's no bank statements which we can analyze, there's no VAT statements, there's no lease agreement in place. There's a lot of the data points which we extract and plug into our automated Fundrr score, which is our proprietary underwriting model, is data from existing businesses. We have not got there yet. We would like to decrease the 1 year operations to a bit lower, but we're definitely not there yet. We would like to get there, because like you're saying, that we need to fuel the economy. We formed Fundrr on the basis of fueling the economy. We need to grow small businesses, and by providing them quick and efficient term loans, that's the only way they can grow. We still do not have the solution to fund the startups, but hopefully we'll get there one day.
All right, all the best and good luck.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much. That's the Fundrr CEO, Idan Jaan, who was talking to us about alternative lending available for small business enterprises. Let's take a break, and when we come back with some sporting news, stay with us.